Hello my fellow fantasy book lovers and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm for the very first time going to do a book related tag video. It is called the In or Out book tag and this one was created by Rick MacDonnell. So this is 26 questions on which I give my yes or no if I like it or not. If you want to do this tag yourself, I will be linking to the original video and of course all of the prompts in the description box of the video. But now, without further ado, let's get started. Number 1, reading the last page first. I will never do this. I just like to start a book without too many expectations and just start reading it. Number 2, enemies to lovers. I actually quite enjoy this, so I think I'm in on this. Number 3, dream sequences. I don't 100% know what they mean with this. Is this that your character dreams in the book and that it then ends up not being real, but that you have like the entire description of the dream? Then I do and I don't like it. It depends on the book. It depends on what type of book it is. If it is a book that focuses around dreams, like Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, then of course yes to dream sequences. If it's a book where it's totally like unrelated to what's happening, then meh. But again, it really depends on the book. Number 4, love triangles. I'm in on love triangles. I'm in on more than one partner in books or having like multiple people involved with each other. I think that non-monogamy and ethical non-monogamy specifically, and then also polyamory are things that I feel can come back into books to be normalized just as it should in the real world. Number 5, cracked spines. I'm not sure if I'm in or out on this one. I do enjoy it if it's a book that I love and that I've read over and over again, but I will never on purpose like open a book and crack its spine. Like, no. Number 6, back to my small town. I'm out on this one. I personally feel like this is just meh. I personally don't enjoy it. I don't feel any connection to it. It doesn't have any added value to me. Unless it's like something weird happens in the town and then they went away for a few years and then they go back to the very specifically weird town, then yes, but that's the only exception. Number 7, monsters are real people. Yes, I'm totally in on this. I like the way that, for example, vampires and stuff have been portrayed in recent books. They are being made as sort of a human character. They have a personality. They have like, it's not just I want blood. And that's what I really like about the monsters are regular people. The other way around, you can also have that there's a person in a book who turns out to be like a total weirdo psychopath killer. That's the thing that I enjoy books like, both when monsters have human traits and are like being made out more as a relatable character, as the other way around when you have this person in a book who ends up being like a total monster. Number 8, no paragraph breaks. This isn't out for me. I want paragraphs in a book. I want to know how many pages I'm committing at that time to read. Whereas if in like Terry Pratchett books there is no particular start and end point, I either overread myself, so I keep reading even though I'm super tired, or I just don't start reading at all. Number 9, multi-generational sagas. Yes and no. Sometimes I feel like this is overdone. I feel like if you have a character growing up, that's totally different. If you have like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, where at first you follow one generation and then you go to the next generation for the next books and it is like a defined, clear timeline, then yes. But sometimes you also have it like the daughter and then the daughter becomes a mother and then like, no, I don't want it to be too much. I feel if you have the need to write an entire book series around this, then feel free to do so, but I'm not sure if I will read them. Number 10, rereading. I am 100% in on this. I love to reread some of my comfort books. I have reread a lot of them. So for example, Neverwhere is one of my favorite books. I've read it over 10 times, I think already. Same with Dracula, same with Queen of the Damned, same with other novels that I personally have had for longer years. Whenever I feel like I want to read like something really cozy, comfy again, I will just take one of the books that I know matches my vibe if I don't know if I have another book that matches it. So yes on rereading. Number 11, artificial intelligence. I'm not sure if I'm in or out on this one, but hear me out. I am totally not in on artificial intelligence writing entire books. However, I am pro artificial intelligence on helping you create like baseline for something. Let me explain. If I want to write a book, I would have like different plot ideas and I would maybe ask them to help me develop a magic system or something, just so it makes sense. And I think the use of AI in writing could be beneficial to writers, to also help you with writer's block, to give you prompts and ideas to write on. But I don't feel like artificial intelligence should be writing books. That's a no-go for me. Number 12, drop caps. Absolutely in. I think it looks amazing. I think it's gorgeous. And I think more books should still do it. Number 13, happy endings. I'm both in and out on this. I do enjoy a book with a good happy ending, but sometimes I feel like an open ending and then having multiple books in a series also helps. And also, I've read a book recently where the ending wasn't really as happy, and I also did enjoy it. As long as the book feels like it's like ended or rounded off, or if there's another part coming that it feels like it connects to something, that's good to me, regardless if it's a happy ending or not. Number 14, plot points that only converge at the end. I'm totally in on this. I loved this in Priory of the Orange Tree. I've loved this in other books as well. I really enjoy seeing different perspectives, different point of views, and then in the end, everything comes together and it's this nice big conclusion. I personally really love that. Number 15, detailed magic systems. I'm both in and out on this. I like it when a magic system makes sense to me, but I don't need to have like an entire encyclopedia on the magic system. Like, we get how it works from how the characters use it. Maybe have a little bit of explanation if it's really necessary, but I don't need like an encyclopedia on the magic system of your books. Number 16, classic fantasy races. I'm totally in on this one. I think this means like elves and dwarves and everything involved with it. Yes, I personally really love it, and I think it's something that I want to see more of in more newer novels, because I feel like everyone is trying to make like hybrids. I don't feel like that's necessary. I don't need a fox spirit vampire. Like, just a vampire is enough, or just an elf is also enough. I like these creatures. I like the fantasy era that's built around it, and I feel it can be used more. Number 17, unreliable narrators. So when you follow a character in a book and then it ends up that they're not totally right on something, I personally do and don't enjoy it. I do enjoy it if it is like when you're really like into the point of view of that character and you see the world through their eyes, and maybe what they see, they interpret in different ways than it's actually meant to be. That I quite like. I don't like when it's like super not obvious that you're like inside this world and that you like get misled in it quite often. This is something that I had in the Robin Hobb books, because you follow this very young character. He sees things differently than what's actually happening, but you do get like the two different point of views, whereas you have the part of Fitz, the character, and then the explanations of it. So I do and I don't like it. It doesn't really bother me. Number 18, evil protagonists. I love this. I'm totally in on this. I think in some books there is too much focus on the good versus evil. I think evil always kind of has like their own point of view, and I think it would be really interesting to have more books focus on having the bad guy actually be the good guy in the book, and having the good part be like, why are you fighting this evil? Yeah, that would be really interesting. If you know of some books who have this, I would love to read them. But yeah, I'm all for like not always following the good guy. Number 19, The Chosen One. I think this is a little bit overdone, so I don't feel like I want to say I'm in or out of this one. I think if it's done well, yes, I like it, but I don't always want it to be so obvious, like, oh, this person was born into royalty and has this education, and from day one we already knew it was gonna do magnificent things. No, I prefer like the underdog type of character, so it depends. In some books I like it, in some books I don't. Number 20, when the protagonist dies. This is a difficult one, because if you then have a change of protagonist, yes. If it is the end of a book and of a book series, also yes. But sometimes I also feel like it disconnects me from a story. So if the main character we have been following for so long, like if it's multiple books then just suddenly dies, then I feel it's very strange to continue on that book for some reason. So I'm both in and out on that one. Number 21, really long chapters. I'm out on this one. And the main reason is because I read on my e-reader a lot, and I read like whenever I have a little bit of time. So sometimes I only have 15 minutes to read in between appointments or in between other things I'm doing. Sometimes I have hours to read. But the thing is, whenever I start a chapter, I want to finish that chapter, and I don't like leaving a chapter hanging like mid-air. So whenever a chapter is 6 to 10 pages, that's perfectly fine to me. But if a chapter is over 10 pages, I sometimes struggle starting to read it because I know it's going to be a long chapter. However, if it's a book that I'm really invested in, I don't care, I just want to keep reading. Number 22, French flaps. I'm out on this one. I honestly couldn't care less about them. I don't think they're pretty. I don't think they add anything to a book. So no thank you, please. Number 23, Deckled Edges. And this is something that I had to look up because I don't think I've ever seen it in real before. And this is actually when the edges of a book aren't smooth, but they are like this rougher texture that hasn't been cut off by the cutter that they use when they cut book pages, I think it is. I'm not sure how books are made exactly, but yeah. The deckled edges are not something that I've encountered before. I'm not sure if I ever will, so I'm not sure if I'm in or out on this one. Number 24, signed copies by the author. I'm personally in on this. I do enjoy having pretty books, otherwise I wouldn't display them like this. I don't think it matters all that much if you want to have a book, if it's signed or not, but I personally, of my favorite books, I love having the signed editions. It's just something that I feel connected to. I feel like it's something special and it makes my heart happy. So yes, for me, signed editions by the author are something I really enjoy. I also enjoy like the special artworks, the special edges and stuff, like just something that has your book be a little bit more unique is something that I personally really enjoy. Number 25, dog-eared pages is a total out to me. I try to be as careful as possible with my books. I don't like when they get damaged, and I especially would never, ever, ever put dog ears on my pages. Like, there are so many alternatives to this. There are so many bookmarks out there. Like, even if you don't have an actual bookmark, put some toilet paper in between it. I don't care, but like, please don't damage your books. And finally, 26, chapter titles instead of numbers. I'm totally fine with this as long as there are like chapters in a book. I don't care if it's chapter 1 or chapter the summer. I don't care. Like, whether it's names or numbers, it's the same to me. So I'm not in or out. I like both of them. These were the 26 prompts for the in or out book tag. This was originally made by Rick MacDonnell. I will be linking to his video and his channel in the description box down below, as well as having all of the prompts. So if you want to make this video yourself, you can do so as well. If you learned something from this video, if you totally agree or totally disagree on something with me, feel free to do so in the comment section. I love to talk to you guys, and I would love to get more insights on how you read as well. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!